Welcome to the Flying P Podcast, Flyers podcast by fans for fans. Today is October 13th. My name's John.
I'm Shane. Let's drop the puck.
All right, Shane, so we've had two games this week. We had
One good, one bad. Well, not bad, but
They looked good during the game.
yeah, we'll get into that. But let's talk about the good first.
The happy shutout. Carter Hart, first shutout of his young NHL career.
And the youngest Flyer goaltender to have a shutout in franchise history.
I gotta say that that made me happy as a Hart owner on my fantasy team.
Are you sure you don't want to trade him?
I'm not feeling it anymore.
Be positive.
We're not gonna have this discussion right now.
Okay, all right. So in that game, the Flyers outshot the Devils 34-25. We got out-hit again, 24-19. We dominated in faceoffs, 41-29, and we led in penalty minutes, 10.
A lot of our stats look great on paper compared to this New Jersey team. And I know last week I said I was worried about this game. And when you look at the Devils, again, on paper, they look like they should be winning games, but that's not the case. They haven't won a single game. There are 3 losses and two shootout losses.
And I just want to point out that last week I said that this game was going to be the easy-peasy one.
Yeah, you were right. You were right. I admit it. You were right.
That's all I wanted to hear. Anyway, so...
This was another game
hard.
where Konechny lit up the scoreboard.
Oh yeah, it's hard to find negatives with this game. It really is. So why don't we start with the good things? First and foremost, MVP of that game, aside from Carter Hart, is the special teams.
Yeah, the special teams were on point this time. We had Hayes. I think he got his first, and that was a power play goal, right?
Yep.
And I think Konechny got another unassisted goal, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of unassisted goals going around this year.
Yeah, that was interesting. I wonder if they're actually unassisted or if they don't care anymore.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you think we have a conspiracy here?
Yeah, I think we have to have a conspiracy watch here.
No. I bet it's Steve Mason.
Haig had a good game. That was a good game for
Yeah.
Haig.
Oh man, I have to eat my Haig words. I have been kind of trashing on him, and Haig had a fantastic game. He played the body really well. He had a couple good poke checks. He
stopped a puck with his face.
He did, yeah. It right. I don't know how he didn't hurt his nose more from that.
Just straight up the visor. Like, it looked like it was going to be painful, and he was just like, I'm good.
Pitlick also had a very good game.
Yeah, he was very noticeable.
Yeah, here's the thing. The one thing that I've noticed through both the games is every new addition has been good. They've been showing up in positive ways. I'm noticing them.
Hayes had his first goal of the season. Couturier had his first goal of the season. We had Lindblom putting down points.
Yeah, he's been he's had a lot of chances. That second line is unreal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's we'll get into that second line I think a little bit later, but there's just so much positive going on right now in them.
How'd you feel about the Wayne Simmons tribute?
It was good. He deserved it, and I like that. I like that he got the cheers, and then after that, he got the boos. So I think he got everything he wanted out of that game. And I thought he looked pretty good that game. I thought him and Hughes had a pretty good game. He had a couple looks in the offensive zone, and I don't know. It was really weird seeing him in a Devils jersey. I didn't like it. I didn't like it one bit.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it either. I mean, he didn't look good in yellow either, though. So, but he had two hits, right, and 3 shots on goal.
Yep.
Didn't do much else.
He was looking for it. No, I just think that the Flyers absolutely dominated this game. I mean, there was no two ways about it. They were better on paper in every category, and they looked at that game. I thought the only real breakdowns that they had was late in the third when they wanted to ruin Starter Hart's shutout bid, when they were like, oh, we don't need to play defense anymore.
Yeah, that was a little odd, and Ghost got that dumb penalty like 4 minutes.
There was a lot of dumb penalties in this game. There was way too many chances for the Devils to come back in this game because of penalties, and that can't be a trend going forward.
Yeah, I agree. Especially when you have 4 minutes left in the game and your young 21-year-old goalie's first shutout is on the line. Don't slash someone because they gave you a funny hit.
We also can't not mention Provorov here. 1 goal, 1 assist, got his 100th point his career, and that was one hell of a game from him. He's been shooting a lot. He's had a lot of really good looks, and that goal, oh man, it was a laser.
Yeah, it was definitely a laser. Yeah, we had Provy's 100th and Ghost 300th game,
and it was a sold out crowd at the Wells Fargo. That's what you want to. I felt like the crowd was really into it. They were loud, noticeable through the telecast. It was awesome.
It was. According to the attendance sheet, they were actually 158 people over capacity.
Yeah, it's that standing room that we were thinking about.
Well, that makes me worried if there's 158 people in that standing room. I don't want to be in there.
No, I'm sure we can figure it out. Did you see that they have a anger management room now where you can break shit?
Yeah, it's stupid rage room. Look, Philly fans are already known for being kind of bullheaded. Do we really need to add to that?
Yeah, I thought that too. I was like, oh man, that's just a bad look. I mean, I get it. There's rage rooms. I mean, I've seen them. That I get the appeal, but I don't know why the Flyers had to add a rage room to the Wells Fargo. But I don't know. They're trying to rework it. You know, they have the standing room, which I got to find some pictures and see if that's worth it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how that goes out.
Yeah, I'd like to hear more about this standing room. There doesn't seem to be enough information on it.
Yeah, that's what's weird. Yeah, maybe we'll wait a couple months and maybe we'll find some Reddit
there's got to be some reviews or something. All right, well, what about the Vancouver game? I mean, we watched that. We streamed it last night.
That was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
I wish there was
Rick there.
Yeah, we had Rick. Rick needs to be a goaltender. So that game, wow. So let's get some stats here. 32 shots on goal for the Flyers, 24 for Vancouver. The Flyers were 44% on the faceoff. Canucks were 56. This is the first game that we lost in the faceoff category.
Yeah, we kind of got beat out on that, and that's not really common for us.
We were 1 for 3 on the power play. Our kill was perfect. They were 0 for 2.
Same hits,
22 apiece. 17 blocks to their 19, and this is that's a stat right there.
Yeah.
4 giveaways for the Flyers, 13 for the Canucks.
That's over 3 times the amount of giveaways.
And that was really apparent as the game went on. The Flyers started generating chances off of the giveaways. It was nice.
I think that's a huge change, too, from last season, is when this would happen, when we would be down by 1 or down by 2 or something like that, the Flyers would let off the gas and they would kind of give up. They'd just roll over. And I don't see that. I didn't see that. That looked like they just kept trying. They kept pushing. They tied it up twice, and, I mean, they just lost in the shootout.
Yeah, I mean, this game was difficult because Canucks came out strong. They scored that first goal, and I thought that this was a really good opportunity to show us that this isn't the same old Flyers team. This isn't going to be the MO that we've had since the past 4 or 5 years, the slow starts. Although I would say we had a little bit of a slow start this time. They answered right away with Twarynski's first goal of the season.
Yeah, and
starting the second.
And I'm super proud of him. I've been loving Twarynski. We discussed during the stream how
we had the most awkward moment of our lives during that goal.
Yeah, we still got to clip that. That was pretty awkward. I didn't know if I was supposed to kiss you, hug you, high five you. Maybe
all of the above next time.
There's one of those I'll leave out, but yeah.
Yeah, so this was a bummer, though. We had Twarynski score, and then almost immediately, Pearson had a tip right in front of the net that put Canucks right back up.
Yeah, it was a good pass from Tanev. Going back to the Turinsky thing, we discussed it on the stream, and specifically, it seems like Turinsky in the past was a camp player. He looked really good in camp. He looked really good in the preseason. And then he kind of fell off when he went to the AHL. And it's good to see him putting points up now, and I think if that continues, he might actually have a spot on this third line. That spot is his to keep.
He had a high. He had 21 shifts in this game, and that's a high for him so far. I mean, if you're going to put up points, that's how you do it. You know, the first goal made an impact on Game 3 of the season. He's looked everything that he's looked in the preseason so far.
Yeah, and I'm hoping for the best for him, because there's a lot of moments where he looks good, and he's still a rookie. You see him make these little mistakes. Sometimes he's the one doing the giveaways and stuff, but all in all, when you're taking shots and you're moving the puck, you can't argue with that. He's got a couple hits, defensive zone hits specifically.
No, and I think that one of the big standouts for me in this game is the Flyers' defense. I know that they let the 2 in, but they had sticks in every shooting lane. There were, for the most part, the Flyers neutralized most of the scoring opportunities that the Canucks had.
And they had they looked.
Oh yeah, they did. I thought they looked really good. Again, I thought the Flyers played a fast game. They were quick. They were physical. They were more so physical in this game, I feel like, than they were in the past.
I agree with you, and I gotta say, I think Niskanen was definitely the MVP for that game.
Oh man, he had a couple tips, an amazing deke to set up our first power play goal of the game, and that was actually the Canucks' first power play goal allowed. We broke their streak.
Yep, they're no longer 100%.
They looked good too on the kill for the most part, but Niskanen, hands down, was the best Flyer on the ice.
He had 20 minutes on ice, 1958. As far as the box score goes, he doesn't look fantastic in that game, besides his assist. But if you were watching that game, you would have seen just how amazing he looked with his poke checks, with his blocks. Everything looked great, and I was really impressed by him.
It makes a difference, and that was the difference. We didn't have that last year. There was not that extra effort. There was nobody came to clear out the rebound. They are the defense is faster, more cohesive. They're everywhere they need to be. Their positioning is a lot better. Yeah,
and it still seems like Carter Hart needs a little bit of rebound help, so it's definitely good that that's there. And Justin Braun had 3 takeaways also.
Braun also looked really good that game.
I know we kind of shit on Braun in the preseason, but
eating our words.
Yeah, I mean, the dude's like a tree. He's still kind of a pylon, but that's all right. I mean, he's doing his defensive thing, and he's a defenseman.
I think pylon is an endearing term.
Yeah, I don't mind it. We could call him. What would be a good word for that? A bullard. He's a bullard.
I'm about it.
He's a big concrete block.
So the Flyers absolutely dominated the third. I mean, we only scored 1 goal, but I couldn't even tell you how many chances we had in the third. It was insane.
There's at least 4 or 5 that I can remember off the top of my head, and there was that one fantastic who took that shot. It was that pass through the crease right at the end.
Yeah, I don't remember who that was.
Yeah, we probably should know that. No,
Next time.
I think it was Lindblom.
I know Lindblom got the goal.
Yeah, I think they used that same play, and that's probably why it looked so good, because there was that Lindblom goal. Konecny pass to Lindblom.
So yeah, we it was the second line again this game that I felt had the edge in play, and it was the second power play line that got the job done in the third to tie the game and send it to overtime.
It was. Yep.
And that second power play line is just the second line.
It is. Which is interesting because the first power play was the second line during the preseason. So they're just copying lines and making them into power plays, which, I mean, if it works, it works. But
So in this game, both Hayes and Giroux had the most shots, and Provorov were all tied at 4 apiece. And I definitely felt like this top line had a lot of really good looks in this game. But there were also a lot of broken plays that led to scoring chances. I just think that the second line has had the better of play, and is it too early to say, hey, maybe we should give that line some more ice time because they're getting it done?
well, it's interesting because the goals scored against us were against the second line, but our
Right.
second line is the one scoring also. So we have kind of a double-edged sword here because defensively they may not be as strong as the top line, but they're the line that's scoring.
They definitely look the best.
And I know Konechny has struggled with defense in the past, so I can kind of understand that, but I don't want to see that from Couturier.
I thought that he didn't have the best of games. I think he definitely struggled a little bit.
Yeah, he seemed like he was out of it and doing a little more passing than shooting and stuff like that. But
So let's talk about
I'm thinking
there was a shift in lines in the third that could be related to why we dominated the third so well.
oh, was it that JVR Hayes Giroux line?
Yeah, now that's an interesting one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like Giroux on the right side, but it seemed to work out.
Yeah, G's kind of acting as the Swiss Army knife right now. They're kind of putting him in positions that he's not normally have played in the past.
I feel bad for him. Every game, they're just like, "Gee, could you go do this now?" And he's just like, "All right."
Yeah, it's interesting. You'd think you want him on his strong side, but I noticed JVR a lot in that third period. He had a fantastic chance to hit I think it was a save, actually. Markstrom was absolutely the best. The reason Vancouver walked away with this one.
Yeah, they would not have won if it was not for Markstrom and 2 posts.
No,
There was also those 2 posts in there too. So
yeah, but no, he had a fantastic save on JVR. So I mean, that top line looked really good with JVR on it. So I guess the question here is, going into next week, are we going to see more of that? Or are they going to go back with the Voracek on that line?
I think they're probably going to go back, but they might throw it out in the middle of the game, especially against a team like Calgary, where they have decent defense. So we can switch it up a little bit, and we can play around with our attack because we're going to have to in the first place.
Yeah. So I think we've pretty much covered everything for this Vancouver.
Yeah. It was a good game. I was disappointed that we lost, but we got a point in the end. It puts us...
I wanted to go 3-0. I really did.
In the end, we saw so much out of that game, and how good they looked made me feel a lot better about our future.
Yeah, and here's the thing. It's a long season. You're going to lose games you should have won. You're going to lose games where you look better. But the fact is, I think they had the better of play for most of this game.
At least in the first, they did.
Yeah, then they were, like I said, a couple posts and a couple spectacular saves away from really getting another 2 or 3 more goals.
That game, yeah, it could have been 4-2 if it wasn't for Post and Markstrom. But...
Right. Before we move on, I want to talk about the shootout.
You mean the home run derby of hockey?
It's so stupid. It's just stupid. Playoff hockey is the best hockey around. And I don't think that's just because it's playoffs. I think it's because it's a sudden death overtime. They just keep going until somebody wins. And I understand that there have been some long games and you may not want to have a regular season game go that long. I totally understand that. But is the way to finish a game an individual skills competition? Is the way for these players to settle the game, to put everything on one shooter and one goaltender? I think that's stupid because that's not how the rest of the game is played.
Yeah, it's not indicative of the team play. It's not indicative of how the game works in itself. And it is odd. I heard someone mention the other day, going to a shootout, or having the game go to a shootout is like playing 9 innings of baseball, having a tie, and then going out and having a home run derby instead.
Yeah, and yeah, that would be really stupid.
And that's why it's not done.
Baseball just goes on and on and on until someone wins.
They just keep going. You could be there all night.
So clearly, it's not a problem. So,
well, hockey's not as popular as baseball as far as, I guess, television channels go.
Yeah, that could have something to do with the TV deal, but still, I mean, the Flyers are historically the worst shootout team in the league. I just would have liked to have seen this game be finished regularly. I wanted to see what would have happened.
I think we would have had the upper hand in the in OT, but it is what it is. We got our point. We'll move on. I mean, that puts us in 4th place in the Metro.
Yeah, listen, if you're going to lose...
With only 3 games.
Right, and that's another weird thing. It's like we have it. We don't have a sample size yet. I mean, we have other teams like, the Carolinas played 6 games already. Washington's played 6.
Yeah, I mean, out of the other teams in the division, the only other team that has played only 3 games is the Rangers.
Yeah, and they're 2-1.
Or actually, I think Jersey's only played 3. Correct?
They played 5 games.
They've played 5 games already?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh yeah, you're right. I said that in the beginning. They're 3-2.
Man, they have a negative 14-point differential.
I hate plus minuses, but
I mean, hey man, goals for, goals against, that one is
yeah, as a team overall, that's definitely teller. And I think what's really telling about that is they only have 2 good D-men. And again, I'm going to complain about it. Schneider is not a good goalie anymore. No.
Goaltending was suspect for them coming in, and still is. And I mean, maybe they thought bringing Subban in would be enough to and they had a strong enough offense to kind of supplement it. But no, I don't see winning hockey. I don't see winning hockey in Jersey until that goaltending situation is fixed. It's very possible that their forward group will pull together and start scoring more. And Snyder can keep a game close. It's just they haven't been playing good hockey. And this is not good for them. This is a year where they're trying to woo Taylor Hall into staying there, and he's not gonna stay there if this is what it's gonna be like.
I guess it all depends if it's gonna become a Connor McDavid situation or. I mean, I wouldn't stay there if I was him.
No, I mean he poor Taylor Hall got drafted by the Oilers, was made to just waste away there. Then they kicked him out for the worst trade ever before they got good, and then he had a really good year with the Devils, but now they suck.
Yeah, well, speaking of the Oilers, they're 5-0.
5-0, first team ever to go 5-0, and they're all victories. So that's a telling stat right there. 5-0 means they're a gritty team, but they've been doing it from behind every time.
Yeah,
and
doing it from
trend,
behind.
Yeah, that's what she said.
That's what she said. Yeah, so Connor McDavid might have a reason to actually stay instead of requesting a trade.
It's all from come behind. That's not gonna last.
No, it's not gonna last. I expect them to fall off, but it's cool to see.
Who knew James Neal would be leading the league right now?
Yeah, James Neal. If I had him in fantasy, I'd be very happy right now.
I have him in a fantasy league.
Well, good job. I'm proud of you.
Thanks. Yeah, me too.
All right, Shane. So normally this is where we would do our GM roast, but what has been different about this week and this season so far that has made that not possible?
Well, here's the thing. We're 1 day removed from the overtime, the shootout loss. So leading up to this game that was at 10 last night, we had a 4-0 whomping of the Devils. We had starter Hart flexing on bitches, and getting his first shutout. And everyone was happy. The world was right.
Yeah, and nowhere to be found were the Flyers haters.
We'll have some for you next week. Because we lost, so I know they're back. I know
they've got to
there.
be back. Yeah. Oh, I mean, we're going to be playing the Oilers, we're going to be playing the Flames, and then we're going to fly to Texas to play the Stars. So we got 3 games coming up in 1 week.
We have Flyers versus the Flames Tuesday the 15th. That's a 9 p.m. away game. The Flames are currently 2-1, and we know that they have a lot of talent on that team,
especially on their blue line.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So this is good. They're a dangerous team. Early season record doesn't really reflect the type of team they are here.
I really like Johnny Hockey. Elias Lindholm has stepped it up. Sean Monahan. The whole top line is solid. Matt Tkachuk is in there.
Yeah, and they have a fantastic blue line too.
Oh yeah, Giordano, Heffernan, TJ Brody is on that team. So
yeah, they're a stacked team.
Yeah, specifically Giordano. He's one of the better defensemen in the whole league. So,
how do you see this one going down?
I think it's going to be a battle from the start. It's probably going to be gritty the whole way through. And as much as I hate using the word gritty, since that's your team name, and now that's our hockey mascot's name.
It me, man. It me.
And it's just kind of the quintessential go-to word for NHL hockey.
Yeah.
It will be a gritty game. There's going to be hits.
Maybe Gritty will be there. You think he'll come with us?
He's going to hold up a sign pointing out someone else's girlfriend. Did you see that? Did you see that sign?
Yep.
Lindsay can do better.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Picking on PK already. It didn't take long.
He's the best. I think the Flyers can win this one for sure. It's going to be a close game, but a telling game. I'd like to see them respond to that loss with a win here. The one that I think everyone's worried about, we have Flyers versus the Oilers Wednesday the 16th. That's a 9:30 away game. And as we said earlier, Oilers are 5-0 right now.
They are, but I expect us to be a little bit kind of off the jet lag at that point. They should be kind of used to the West Coast time zone by that time. And because we know already going into that Vancouver game, they traveled 8,000 miles for their first 2 games.
Yeah, this was an insane travel schedule.
All of those time zone hops have got to be tough. I mean, we were yawning at the end of that game because it was 1 o'clock in the morning. How do you think they feel at that point?
The first time we decided to stream a game, it has to go to a shootout.
It's like a 10-hour time difference.
Yeah. But right now, as it stands, the Oilers have the number 1 and number 2 point getters and the number 1 goal scorer in James Neal. So they have a lot of star power. This game, our defense is going to be tested. You don't shut McDavid down, but you limit him. So he's going to get his points. It's a matter of making sure we control the rest of the game for this one.
Yeah, there's no such thing as shutting down Connor McDavid. But he's already got 12 points. He's already got 12 points.
I know.
4 goals, 8 assists.
I say the Flyers lose this one.
It seems like it's a possibility, but I'm going to say no. I'm going to say they win either in overtime or by 1.
All right, I'll take it.
I think Hart's the difference. Hart's the difference.
I think Hart's going to be the difference a lot this year. I think that's what it's going to come down to a lot.
I say they probably play Elliott against Calgary, and then they pull Hart out for the Edmonton game.
Absolutely. Elliott is probably going to start Flames, and you're going to want your best to going up against McDavid and company. And then following that game, Flyers versus the Stars, Saturday the 19th. That's a 7 p.m. home game.
Yeah, and the Dallas Stars are 1-4-1. They have not been doing well. In their first game of the season, they lost 3 guys to injury.
It was a couple. The one was really scary. I heard he's going to be okay. That was Pollock, right?
Yeah, he took a weird header into the boards. It looked like he snapped his neck, but he only apparently broke his clavicle. So,
man, it's just he didn't move. It was a scary moment.
Yeah, he just stayed there. He didn't move his arms. He didn't move anything. He didn't give a thumbs up. Nothing. He just was wheeled out, and that was it.
There's like a weird air in Dallas right now because I don't think anybody saw this start for Dallas. I think everyone thought they were going to be a pretty good team. They had a really good stretch at the end. Bishop played his ass off in the playoffs. So I don't think that this play will continue, but I don't know if the Flyers are the team that they're going to turn their year around on. I definitely see the Flyers winning this game.
I do too. If they can shut down Rope Hintz and what's his name, Matthias Janmark, they should have a good chance. Because Rope Hintz is the leading scorer for Dallas right now.
Really? I
Yep.
mean, you
I called that, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Yep.
You got him in both drafts.
Jamie Benn only has 1 goal, 1 assist. What's it?
How about Sagan?
Sagan, he's 2 goals, 1 assist. Hintz is 4 goals and an assist.
Wow.
And he's plus
4
2.
goals already, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yep, for that rookie. He played half a year last season. He came in at the end, and I don't know, he looked real good to me. And
it's paying off now.
Yeah.
So here's the deal. This is going to be a really telling week for the Flyers. I'm really excited for it because going into this, we have 2 wins, 1 overtime loss. We have 2 wins we have Chicago and the Devils. Both those teams are struggling. Nobody knows what they have in the Canucks yet. And the Flames are a good team. The Oilers are a good team. We're going to get some more sample size for a lot of these guys. And we're going to see a record that's going to indicate who they are as a team in this early portion. So yeah. I'm really looking forward to it.
We have a good stretch of different caliber teams that we're going against, which I think will give us a greater idea of how this team looks. Oh, Hintz is centering the first power play.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm proud of my ability to call that.
That guy.
Yeah. By the end of this week, we should have a better idea of how our game is looking.
Yeah, early MO seems to be I've said it 1,000 times. We're fast. Everyone's saying it. We're fast, but we're definitely a lot faster. Our defense, I've been impressed with. I really have.
They look so much better than last season.
Yeah, so they're going to be tested, and the defense it might be the difference maker here. I want to see our offense get going more.
Yeah, if we can get more out of the first line, less dumb penalties out of the defensemen, we should have a solid chance on most of these.
Right. So my player to watch over this stretch is Travis Sanheim.
Sanheim, I swear he's going to be the best defenseman on this team.
Yep, I don't know if it's going to happen this year. I think it could.
Probably
I don't know
not.
if it's going to happen 2 years from now. But I think that as he matures, he's going to be really, really good. This is going to turn into the Travis Sanheim show at some point. I just don't know when.
I mean, I wouldn't be against it. The kid is really good. He looks like a bird, but he's really good.
He does look like a bird. We discovered that during the Vancouver game.
Yeah, he looks like, what's her name from Always Sunny in Philadelphia? He looks like the male version of her. D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see it.
Just stick an ostrich out there with a helmet, some ice skates.
So yeah, I mean, I think that's it for us. I know it was a little bit of a shorter episode. We didn't have the GM roast, but
what are you gonna do? No one wants to complain because look, the Flyers actually won a couple games.
Right, yeah, it's a sad day in Philadelphia.
Yeah, it's a sad day in Philadelphia when no one is there to complain about something.
Yeah, it's weird. Oh, there's going to be lots of complaining now. We had a Flyers loss. We have just...
So, most of what I've seen so far is just people complaining about having shootouts in the first place, which goes along with how we feel. So, I guess that doesn't really count as a roast, right? If you agree with it, it's not a roast.
And here's the thing. Shootouts, win or lose, whether we win them or lose them, they're stupid. It's stupid. Obviously, I'm a lot happier when we win them, but my feeling doesn't change. Shootouts are dumb.
Yeah, well, in the end, we don't have an option, so...
Yeah. No, I'd like to see it changed. I don't really see it happening anytime soon. We'll see. We'll see as the game progresses if we'll ever get to a point where they could be eliminated. But hey, why don't you let us know how you feel about shootouts in the comments?
Yeah, I would love to hear about it. All right, well, are we going to call it there? We're at 40 minutes. All
right, absolutely. Hey, we'll catch you next week. We'll go over. We have three games to talk about, and we'll let you know what's coming up on the horizon for the Flyers.
Yep, you can find us at Facebook. We're on Podbean. We're on Twitter now. We're on YouTube. any of your social media, come find us. Flying P Podcast.
You can also find us on twitch.tv at flying_P_podcast. We streamed the Canucks game, our reaction, and just kind of talked about it. We had fun. I think we'll do it again. I'm not sure when, but definitely follow our Facebook to get updates on that.
Yeah, if you see us up, I mean, we might give a little bit of a heads up next time, but it was pretty short notice, so.
But yeah, thanks for checking it out, and see you guys next week.
Adios.